So next we'll talk about the thyroid function, or thyroid TFTs, we sometimes call them thyroid function tests. So the TFTs will include the TSH, which stands for thyroid stimulating hormone, and thyroxine. Now TSH is secreted by the pituitary gland, which sits at the base of the brain, and it then travels in the bloodstream to the thyroid gland, which sits roughly here in the body and in the neck region, and will release T4 in response to the TSH, hence why it's called thyroid stimulating hormone. That thyroxine will then travel in the bloodstream to the rest of the body and will obviously also be seen by the pituitary gland as well. This, in essence, sets up what's called a negative feedback loop within the pituitary thyroid axis. That being that the thyroxine being released tempers the amount of the TSH being released, meaning that they're kept in a constant equilibrium. When they're kept in a constant equilibrium like this, we will see that within the reference ranges and make sure that everything is kept at appropriate levels. When that tends to be the case, we have no symptoms of hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism. However, if we start having certain symptoms, which we'll probably cover in future courses, if we start having symptoms like that and then we have a look at our thyroid function, we can decipher whether there is a problem there. But why is it important to health? So the thyroid gland is important for every single cell. It's important for energy balance. It controls the speed at which food and oxygen are utilised for energy. So there's in terms of the amount of energy required for any given time, obviously when you run or when you do a marathon, you need a lot more energy utilisation. But if we strip that straight back and think about how much energy we require just to exist, just to lie and exist, there's a certain amount of energy that it takes to continue breathing, to continue your heart beating, to continue all of the cellular functions that are required. This is known as the basal metabolic rate, and the thyroid gland has complete control over that. As a result, it has control therefore of weight, it has a control over your body temperature, it has a control over the amount of strength that you actually have. So in terms of your muscular ability, without your thyroxine, your muscles wouldn't be able to function. And lastly, it also is really important in correct nervous system functioning as well. So it's a really important hormone that we need to make sure is constantly kept under control, and keeping an eye on it, whether you're someone who has established hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism or not, monitoring that and making sure that doesn't become a problem is of vital importance.